What if I told you that true charm begins long before you ever walk into the room, before eyes turn toward you, before a single word is spoken? Something deeper is already speaking for you. It's not your clothes, your posture, or your timing. It's the atmosphere you've built in silence. Because real charm doesn't start in the spotlight. It starts in solitude. Chosen one, begin before the room begins, before the voices warm up, and the day unfolds its letter. Stand still in the quiet that remembers your name. Charm is not an act you perform at the threshold. It's a climate you've been cultivating in secret. Stand by the window or sit on the edge of your bed and breathe until your breath feels believable. Inhale calm, exhale hurry. Become the steady light in a world that mistakes glare for wisdom. Feminine souls feel this before thought arrives. They don't gather because you are loud. They lean in because your calm doesn't demand payment. There is a sacred difference between a man who collects attention and one who liberates it. The first shrinks a room to fit his ego. The second expands it with his ease. Your charm becomes holy when it gives people back to themselves. To live this way, you must act as a steward, not a performer. Look for what helps the space breathe. A chair angled for comfort. A door held a heartbeat longer for the one carrying too much. A tone that slows voices that run even when no one is chasing them. These are not tricks. They are acts of quiet reverence. The feminine spirit knows reverence instantly. It rests where it's not asked to compete with spectacle. You will be tempted to think charm lives in novelty. Resist that urge. Anchor instead. Let your posture say you brought your own peace. And it's good to stand in. Keep your shoulders honest, your hands open, your face unhurried. The stillness of a body at peace cannot be faked. It is not indifference. It's truth agreeing with itself. You never need to announce that you're present. Presence announces itself. It sees without grazing, listens without rehearsing, answers without selling. This is what women feel when they call you charming. Not performance, but permission. Charm matures through memory. It lives in the details you remember, the small truths that tell another they were seen. Hold her stories the way you'd hold a letter that's traveled oceans. Recall the book her grandmother hid in a pantry, the road she takes when the world grows heavy, the tea that tastes like autumn. Bring these details back, not to prove attention, but to remind her words were safe with you. That memory becomes a shelter, and inside that shelter, guards fall and trust takes shape. Let proportion guide your speech. Words can flood warmth or starve it. Speak as though each sentence were a home someone else must live in. If you compliment, let it be light and real. If you disagree, tether truth to kindness. If you tease, make yourself the first joke. Charm deepens when gratitude is abundant and sarcasm rare. The feminine heart feels the weight of your syllables. It knows when you speak to impress and when you speak to honor. Your stillness is not a strategy, it's a vow. Promise the room you will not add to its noise. Promise your body you will not confuse urgency with importance. Promise your eyes they will honor before they measure. Keep these vows in invisible ways. A breath before speaking. A pause before pride answers. A softening around your eyes when someone else fumbles for words. This is sacred preparation. This is how the chosen move quietly, but unmistakably. Do not confuse mystery with hiding. Withholding is fear disguised as control. Mystery is depth guided by grace. You do not need to be unreadable to be magnetic. You only need to reveal yourself at the pace truth can sustain. Speak from experience, not for attention, but for connection. Let silence have space. It will say more about your confidence than words ever could. Women trust men whose privacy is care, not manipulation. There is an ordinariness to true charm that shocks those who have only seen it fake. It's in greeting the custodian and the host with equal warmth, in thanking the musician without pretending to understand, in declining what isn't yours without turning it into theater. Real appeal isn't expensive, it's believable. Believability breeds sincerity, and sincerity is contagious. Before long, you'll be praised for creating what you merely protected. Peace. Let your spirituality hum quietly beneath your presence. A small prayer before eating, a mental blessing for those you pass, a thought of gratitude before rest. These habits design the invisible weather you carry. In this atmosphere, charm stops being a skill and becomes a consequence. Feminine women don't find you captivating because you learn techniques. They do because you are aligned. Alignment tastes like readiness without rush, strength without swagger, joy without performance. Walk humbly. Do not collect hearts like trophies. Tend them like gardens. Care for the soil. Remove what suffocates. Water what's patient. When people call you charming, let it be because they felt more beautiful beside you. You won't need to hold their attention. They will give it freely and leave fuller than they arrived. Your smile is your threshold. Let it open gently. Practice smiling as hospitality, not advertisement. Stand before the mirror not to fix angles, but to see what truth does to your face. Remember a merciful moment. Notice your jaw unclench, your eyes soften. That is the expression of a soul with nothing to prove. Reconcile with your younger self, who mistook eagerness for need. Thank him, then release him. Reconcile with anger by keeping its honesty, but not its hunger. Reconcile with grief by giving it a chair. Unattended sadness turns joy into theater. As you make peace with these inner rooms, your face learns to tell the truth kindly. Women read faces like sailors read skies. They sense manufactured weather. They step closer when the climate feels like rain for the thirsty, in shelter for the tired. Let gratitude teach your smile. When you thank someone, let your expression agree with your words. When a stranger holds a door, let your face say, "The world still knows small kindness." When a friend speaks through pain, let your eyes promise you're staying. Over time, gratitude will rest on your mouth even when you're not smiling. That's when people begin to trust you before you speak. Retire smiles that cost others, the ones that flatter, manipulate, or avoid truth. Let your smile honor mutual dignity. When you meet a woman's eyes, let respect come before delight. Respect steadies, delight brightens. In that order, charm nourishes. Reversed, it consumes. She will feel the difference in her breath before she names it. Your task is to make breathing easier. Your smile should be a lamp, not a spotlight. In a boardroom, let it mean we can stay calm. In a hospital, let it mean you're not alone. Among friends, let it promise everyone belongs here. Chosen ones read rooms with empathy. Their faces guide, not dominate. Truth is magnetic. If you're tired, don't fake joy. Soften it. If you're happy, don't hide it. Let it shine quietly. If you're uncertain, pair doubt with curiosity. People forgive what invites them in. Your smile should open doors, not close them. Women won't call you mysterious. They'll call you safe. Let service power your beauty. Smile when you lift burdens, when you repair mistakes, when you remember names. This is lasting charm. Fleeting allure sparkles and dies. Enduring charm glows like a lantern, steady, kind, useful. Those who have walked through darkness recognize lanterns. They gather near without knowing why. Send wordless blessings. When a weary stranger passes, let your smile say, "May your path soften." When a child looks your way, let your eyes say, "The world has room for you." When an elder speaks slowly, let your face promise, "There's time." These simple acts turn moments into sacred spaces. Care for your body, the vessel of your kindness. Rest enough so your smile isn't fueled by duty. Eat food that reminds you of the earth's generosity. Move your body until it learns to carry grace easily. A tired man can impress for a moment, but only a rested one can love consistently. The feminine heart knows the difference. Health is not vanity. It's stewardship of the energy others meet. Integrity gives charm its scent. If your actions betray your words, even your best smile will sour. Keep promises, especially when no one sees. Speak truth early, before it turns sharp. Choose mercy before pride asks for applause. When your face and life agree, people don't call you impressive. They feel safe around you. That is the highest compliment. Walk forward, chosen one, with a face shaped by mercy, guided by truth, and lit by service. Let your smile arrive as an offering to every soul you meet. In hallways, kitchens, elevators, sanctuaries, and at the table where time bends around love. You won't need to say you're charming. Your presence will prove it. And when desire comes, remember, it has studied under hunger too long. It rushes, bargains, performs, then wonders why everything grows distant. Your task is not to silence desire, but to transform it from fire that consumes to warmth that sustains. Presence is the alchemy. When you are truly present, the room learns that longing can be gentle, and the heart learns that interest can be safe. Feminine energy feels this before thought arrives. It knows the difference between a flame that takes and a fire that keeps. Begin with your breath, the first promise you can keep. Inhale until your ribs remember patience. Exhale until the old urgency leaves like steam. Presence begins when the breath stops auditioning and starts serving. Let your gaze follow that rhythm, not to capture, but to witness. A witnessing gaze gives another person shape without turning them into possession. Desire, in your care, must learn respect. It's not a sprint across boundaries, but a walk through doors that open with permission. You'll know your pace is right when curiosity grows deeper. As urgency fades, ask questions that give power back. What made that moment come alive for you? When did your courage first find its form? Who taught your laughter its freedom? These questions restore sovereignty, and sovereignty is the soil where desire stands tall and unashamed. Presence is both warmth and geometry. Learn distance as a musician learns intervals. Too close without consent flattens the melody. Too far without care makes it disappear. Find the space where music breathes, where hearts remain free, and where everything you do quietly says, "I am here, not to take, but to honor." Do not drift too far, or harmony cannot form. Hold your body like a quiet promise, not something to be claimed, but something to be chosen. Every small gesture, the way you angle a chair, Keep a doorway clear, or match your stride to a story speaks more than words. These are the silent geometries that another body can sense. Here, no one should have to fight gravity to be themselves. The mind may not notice, but the shoulders do. And when the shoulders soften, truth rises through the body like breath remembered. Do not mistake withholding for depth. The performance of mystery is not intimacy, it's fear in disguise. True mystery ripens at the speed trust allows. Offer the sentence that fits the moment. Save the chapter for later. Let silence do its work. When someone stays through the quiet, then the deeper story can be told. This is stewardship, not manipulation. It teaches desire to walk patiently, to find beauty in waiting. When your presence is steady, surprise becomes love, not control. Touch should be treated as prayer. Ask before, listen during, thank after. Let your hand be a sentence that leans only when welcome to lean back. If someone accepts your touch, keep it intelligent and kind. If not, remain the same man you were before. That sameness proves your desire is not hunger. Many women have known touch as a transaction, but one honest gesture can rewrite the memory of fear. In that fraction of ease, an honest future begins. Presence that understands desire knows when to brighten and when to dim. Brighten to celebrate, dim to listen. When cleverness crowds sincerity, slow your rhythm and let truth lead. When bitterness clouds the air, tell a story that opens a window. This is peace made visible. The chosen are recognized by this unhurried competence, their ability to carry weather that nourishes, not destroys. Agreement is not intimacy. Presence doesn't demand sameness. It invites coherence. You're most magnetic when you can say, I understand why you believe that. Here's what I hold. Desire becomes safe when difference is seen as a contour, not a cliff. Feminine heart sends who can hold disagreement without turning it into punishment. Keep your hands open, but your boundaries firm. That posture is a map anyone can read. Bring the ordinary back to holiness. Sit easily in the simple things. Brew tea slowly. Watch the steam rise. Walk without needing to film the sky. Send a message that says, I'm here, without asking for proof of return. Let time build quietly. When presence stops performing, desire stops needing drama. Drama drains. Ritual restores. The most magnetic men don't entertain. They consecrate. Stay faithful to what you practice in solitude. Learn joy that doesn't need applause. Grief that doesn't need rescue. Prayer that doesn't negotiate. If you can be fully yourself when unseen, you can be fully yourself when loved. The body learns integrity alone. The face learns it by keeping confidences. The voice learns it by speaking truth before it's comfortable. These habits weave your inner world to your outer life. When a woman steps close and finds that the weave holds, she relaxes. Desire becomes generosity. Presence is shared air, not borrowed oxygen. Don't enter to take breath and call it leadership. Enter to give it, so others can speak what they couldn't before. When people leave you believing more in their own courage than in your charm, desire has learned to serve love. Then they won't say you were irresistible. They'll say near you, being themselves was easy. Every room has a rhythm. Some arrive breathless, others divided by noise. Your task is not to outshout them, but to set a tempo the room can trust. Rhythm is promise kept in motion. When your cadence is steady, the atmosphere obeys. Set your rhythm before the day sets it for you. Drink water as if it were instruction. Stretch your spine until your posture speaks peace. Trains don't move faster because passengers are anxious. They move faithfully because their tracks are true. Reliability is peace in motion. In conversation, honor pauses. Silence is not absence. It's a frame. It says, "We will not rush what deserves reverence." Those who have only known silence as punishment will test your calm. Keep your eyes kind while your mouth stays still. Soon, the quiet will turn from suspicion to permission. Then you will hear what their heart tried to say beneath their words. Walk at a pace loyal to dignity. Leave room for others on the stairs. Lift with respect for both the object and your body. Competence is contagious. Women know the difference between a man who rushes for importance and one who moves with care. Let your voice follow seasons. Soft in winter, curious in spring, joyful in summer, thankful in autumn. Don't demand July from January. Rooms calm when their weather is understood, even online. Rhythm matters. Respond when you said you would, not when insecurity shouts. If the subject is tender, use your voice. If silence follows, don't chase it. Let your words stand alone. Trust sounds uncluttered, patient, unafraid. Old humor like holy fire. Let it heal, not wound. Notice when a joke would interrupt a revelation. And wait, a joke that arrives after listening becomes mercy. Humor that heals never makes smallness the price of laughter. Eat slowly enough to taste, quickly enough to stay present. Compliment early. Let the table be a drum played softly with gratitude. People remember when meals move at the rhythm of belonging. Women especially know the difference between appetite and hurry. Learn the difference between urgency and emergency. Emergencies require speed. Urgency requires clarity. When panic is false, refuse to join its race. The chosen do not arrive breathless. They've practiced breathing for others. Enter rooms softly enough to hear what's already alive. Leave so the song continues. Thank those who carry hidden weight. Rest often. Let Sabbath teach your timing. Watch the light without naming it wholly. Call someone who steadies you. Read a psalm aloud so your voice can remember truth. When you return to work, you'll carry rest like fragrance. Let mercy guide your tempo. Slow down for those who stumble. Stretch time for those who shine. Keep steady when others leave. Pride rushes. Mercy endures. The world is tired of men who mistake speed for virtue. Be the one whose peace makes kindness easy and courage cheap. Laugh first at your own pride. That humility keeps wit kind. The world fears humor because too often it cuts disguised as charm. Bring another kind. The laughter that lightens without dulling conscience. Prepare your humor like a good meal. Skim the bitterness. Keep the nourishment. Season with kindness. Let time do the deepening. Use laughter not to win, but to connect. Tell stories where you are the fool first. It lets others breathe. Women feel this gentleness and stay because they can be bright without being burned. A joke too early wounds. Too late misses its mercy. Wait long enough to protect what's tender. Let others finish their thoughts. There will be other perfect lines. There may not be another chance for someone to feel heard. Aim your humor at life, not at worth. If you tease, let affection be visible and dignity intact. Laughter must never require anyone to shrink. When you live this way, the room steadies, words soften, time slows to hold more grace, and those who walk beside you will not say you are dazzling. They'll say that near you, they remembered how to breathe and be exactly who they are without apology. That is what peace sounds like when it learns to move